Welcome to Hatman Strikes Back Daily Boxing News. So, as expected, Jack Catterall totally outboxed and outclassed Harlem Eubank and won a unanimous decision on the judges' scorecards after 6 rounds because there was a clash of heads which caused both fighters to be cut, prompting the officials to end the contest and for it to go to a decision. It was not an entertaining fight. In fact, you had Turkey Al-Sheikh trolling both fighters on X, saying that this was not a Tom and Jerry fight, this was a Jerry and Jerry fight. 2 mice running around the ring. Tony Bellew actually summed it up perfectly after the fact. He said it was panic from start to finish from Harlem Eubank. Literally within seconds of the opening round, after Jack Catterall had shown Harlem Eubank how easily he could land on him, Eubank clearly went into panic mode. He really did. He was wasting a ton of energy with all these exaggerated defensive movements, that being indicative of how anxious he was in there, the inexperience, the lack of subtle skills. Harlem Eubank is a fairly athletic fighter, but he's not a particularly skilled one, not at this level. Hence, when this fight was made, I said in my video at the time, this is surely an easy win for Jack Catterall. And so it was. There was actually somebody a few live streams ago who asked me whether I thought that Harlem Eubank was a superior version of Chris Eubank Jr. And I said, no, I think it's the opposite. I think Harlem Eubank is an inferior version of Chris Eubank Jr. And that's saying something because Chris Eubank Jr. is no amazing fighter, but he's a hell of a lot better than his cousin Harlem, I'll tell you that. Harlem Eubank is 31 years of age, folks. It took him this long to have a step up. If he was a heavyweight, since heavyweights generally mature a little bit later, you might say, okay. But no, he's a welterweight. For a welterweight to be having his first step up at the age of 31, you should already know that there's something wrong there. Harlem Eubank has always come across to me as a very shy, timid personality, both in the ring and outside the ring, just all round. And there's this weird thing with casual British boxing fans whereby they always want to support and believe in fighters who come across as down-to-earth nice guys. Very strange because you're not going to get anywhere in boxing being a down-to-earth nice guy. Now, some guys pretend to be down-to-earth nice guys because they know the public respond well to that, but I can assure you it is an act because internally they feel as though they are God's gift to boxing. Very egotistical. Just think about most of the greatest British fighters of all time. We don't even have to go international. Prince Nassim, cocky. Joe Calzaghe, cocky guy. Lennox Lewis, a cocky guy. Chris Eubank Sr., ditto. You have to have an ego in this game. That's what gives you that defiance within your soul, within your spirit, to strive to be the best. When you're getting beaten, when you're getting outboxed, you're not supposed to panic. Your attitude is supposed to be, I'm not going to let this guy do this to me. Who the hell does he think he is? Harlem Eubank doesn't have that in him. He's a timid soul. You can see it in his eyes. You can hear it in his voice. And although he's tried to take instruction from his uncle, Chris Eubank Sr., who absolutely had it, Harlem is just not built like that. He's faking the funk, he's pretending, and I know his uncle said that that's a process you have to go through. If you're not confident, you talk yourself confident over years, self-affirmation and what have you, right? But I don't think Harlem Eubank has enough time at the age of 31 to have that work for him. I think he is what he is. He's a timid little nice guy, bit of a nerd. Man needs to go take up tennis or something. Because I don't think boxing is for him. Certainly not at the higher levels. Jack Catterall had a very easy night, totally outboxing Harlem Eubank. Eubank didn't know what to do. He is normally the one that likes to control things from the outside. Jack Catterall took that away from him immediately. And Harlem Eubank just didn't have the spirit, he didn't have the dog, as Americans like to call it, to take the fight to Jack Catterall. He ain't built like that. Also, Catterall's calmness and confidence, you could see it in Catterall's body language. The calmness and confidence that comes from all that experience, that unnerved Harlem Eubank, I think. From very early on in the fight, as well as being hit, it was how calm Catterall was. Eubank was thinking, oh my God, I'm out of my depth here. Oh yeah, he was out of his depth. And I thought at the time when the clash of heads occurred, in the 6th round, I think it was, that maybe Eubank had done it deliberately, just out of panic and desperation. But I haven't seen the slow-mo replay since, so I'm going to hold my horses on that. What I will talk about, though, is Harlem Eubank's reaction after the fight was waved off. He ran to the corner and got up on the ropes and started celebrating as if he'd won the fight. Absolutely bizarre. Even more bizarre, his post-fight interviews, where he was making out as though the game plan was working perfectly and he was about to start taking over and stop Jack Catterall dramatically in the back end of the fight. Now, it would be one thing to be behind on the cards, but still be fighting confidently and defiantly, and then come out with something like that after the fight. But as I've already explained, Harlem Eubank was panicking in there. He didn't look confident at all. He knew, in my opinion, that he was losing the fight, that he'd lost damn near every round, and he had no idea how to turn the tables. Had the clash of heads not occurred, I don't know whether there would have been a stoppage. Probably not. It maybe would have gone to the cards over the distance. But if anyone was going to get stopped in that scenario, it was going to be Harlem Eubank. It weren't going to be Jack Catterall. And I think Harlem Eubank knew that. And I think that his reaction after the fight was waved off was actually one of relief. I think he was relieved and he was trying to style it as if he genuinely thought he won. No. He was relieved that the fight was over. And then he went into damage limitation immediately. He probably even felt embarrassed by how out of his depth he was in there. Remarkably, in one of the interviews that Harlem Eubank did post-fight, he actually said that the referee did him dirty in there. Did him dirty? How? The referee saved him from a more comprehensive defeat, possibly even by stoppage. That's what the referee did. So to reiterate, boxing at world level, Harlem Eubank ain't cut out for this. He ain't built for this. Needs to go take up tennis. In fact, he looks like a tennis player. His face, his demeanor, everything is like a tennis player. Little shy, nice guy that can get interviewed by those god-awful, bland BBC sports presenters who do Wimbledon and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Candidate for Sports Personality of the Year, showing up in his little tennis outfit. I think that's what Harlem Eubank is, bro. He can fake having an ego, but deep down he's a shy soul. And this ain't the game for shy souls. This is a sport whereby you have to believe right down to the core of your soul that the gods themselves placed you on this earth for the sole purpose of being an agent of war, a minister of death. Yes, you have to believe that you were put here for the sole purpose of destroying other men in hand-to-hand combat. Anyway, Jack Catterall moves on. Nice easy win for him at 147. Will he stay at that weight class or will he move back down to 140? I'm going to assume he'll stay at 147 because the division is wide open now with Boots Ennis moving up. And I think Jack Catterall, despite not being the most entertaining fighter in the world, certainly not going to claim otherwise, he's a tricky night's work for pretty much anyone. But with the comments made by Turkey during the fight, will he get any opportunities? We shall see. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this fight between Jack Catterall and Harlem Eubank in the comment section below. Give me your assessment. Perhaps it differs from mine, and that's okay. And let me know where you think both these fighters go from here. Don't forget to smash that like button. Really appreciate it. Share the video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Are you surrounded by mindless bots in human form who adhere to the norm and blindly conform, who swallow all the mainstream BS and actually ridicule you for questioning things? Do you wish you had more free-thinking individuals in your life to network and converse with? Well, look no further. We're right here. Come and join the Brotherhood of Reason on Patreon. You'll gain access to my weekly topical content where we take deep dives on an endless variety of subjects, as well as my vast back catalogue of podcasts, videos, interviews, movie decodings, and my Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You'll also get to talk and network with myself and hundreds of other people in our members chat. You can enjoy all this via the Patreon app or on desktop and download all my podcasts in high quality MP3. There's no contract, no commitment. You can cancel at any time, just like Netflix, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper. Just download the app from the Play Store or the App Store, or simply visit patreon.com on a web browser. Then head on over to my page and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. All the links are in the description box below. And just a quick money-saving tip for Apple users. If you purchase your Patreon subscription on the desktop site or on Android, then you'll avoid the ridiculous 30% fee that Apple charges for purchases made on the iOS app. So if you're on iPhone or iPad, save yourself some money by buying your subscription on the actual Patreon website or on Android because it's a lot cheaper. Once you've made that initial purchase, you can then use the Patreon app on your iPhone or iPad thereafter to access and enjoy your content as normal.